Hi and welcome, I'm Christian from Dice Sagas, and in this video we're going to learn the two-player game 7 Wonders Duel. The aim of the game is to strive towards building the strongest civilization, so let's learn how to play. First you'll have your rulebook and your help sheet. The help sheet is a great point of reference during the game. Go over the rulebook at your leisure, although if you're like me, I find video tutorials very useful. So first, you'll want to unfold and set up the board in between both you and your opponent. Next, get the conflict pawn and place in the center of the board on the military row. Then put the 4 military tokens face up with the broken coin imagery. The broken coin with 2 goes over the 5 victory points area, and the broken coin with 5 goes over the 10 victory points area. Next, place 5 progress tokens across the top, as shown. Be sure to mix well before positioning them, and then return the rest to the box. Now, give each player 3 coins, 1 coin with the marker of 1, and 2 with the marker of 3, as shown. Next, shuffle the monument deck, and place 4 cards face up. Keep hold of the remaining monuments. Now pick one of the players to go first. Player 1 then chooses 1 card. Player 2 then chooses 2 cards. The last card is then taken by player 1. Now back to the monument deck. Place another 4 cards face up on the table. The second player now takes 1 monument. The first player then takes 2. And finally, the second player takes the last card. The rest of the monuments are then returned to the box. Now onto the remaining cards. You'll have a first age, second age, third age, and guild cards. Be sure to shuffle each deck. Now choose the top 3 of the first age and return them to the box. Then select the 3 from the second age and third age and return to the box in the same fashion as the first age. Now choose 3 from the guild deck and place them within the third age deck, returning the rest of the guild cards to the box. Now ensure to shuffle the third age deck with the now added guild cards. Now we'll deal out the cards from the first age deck. Use the card structure to aid you with this. The white cards represent face-up cards, whilst the coloured cards represent the face-down cards. You'll find it best to start in the upper left corner. Once you have the setup, it will look like this. Cards varying of course, and as you can see, it's the shape of a pyramid. Furthermore, we apply the same method using the card structure to ages 2 and 3. And that's it friends, setup has been completed. We're now ready for the first age to begin. But before we jump ahead, you'd want to know how to win, right? So in 7 Wonders Duel, there are 3 ways to win: victory points, military, and science. Victory points is decided by calculating the number of victory points after the third age. The one with the most victory point wins. For a military win, you'd have to wage war across your opponent's lands and took over their capital. This is done through military cards, as well as some of the monuments. We'll go into this a little bit later. The third way of winning is through science. To achieve this, you have to have 6 science cards with a unique symbol. Again, we'll go into this later. Okay, so you now know how to win. We'll move on to the cards themselves. So there are 3 actions you can do with your chosen card: construct, sell, or build your monument. Let's start by building your monuments. Look at the 4 monuments you can build. You can see along the bottom left corner the resources required to construct. If you do not have the required resources, you can purchase these from the bank. The bank is a tool used to purchase resources and sell a chosen card. Values can vary, but more on this later. When buying resources from the bank, it will cost you 2 coin. When you sell to the bank, you will get 2 coin. Okay, so now let's build this monument. As you can see from the example, it requires resources to build. This is an example of your current resources to build your monuments. So now looking at your monuments, you require additional resources to build it. 1 wood and 1 glass. As mentioned before, buying resources costs 2 coin. So to construct the monuments, it will cost a total of 4 coin. 2 coin for each resources. Now with your chosen card and purchased resources, you can now place the card face down under the monument as shown. Congratulations, you've now built your first monument. Please note, only 7 monuments out of the 8 can be built. Therefore, either you or your opponents will have 4 monuments, and the other will have 3. Once 7 monuments have been built, turn the remaining monuments card face down. This will indicate that the monuments cannot be constructed. Now let's talk selling unwanted cards, or those cards that may benefit your opponents. As mentioned already, selling cards will get you 2 coins. If, however, you have a yellow card among your pool of cards, this will increase your funds by 1 additional coin. So selling will get you a total of 3 coins rather than 2. Now, the last action is to construct. You can do this by paying the costs and or resources mentioned on the top left of the card. Cards that do not show any value or resources are free. Keynote: you can upgrade buildings for free if the relevant image is shown at the top. So when you go to choose your card, keep this in mind. To upgrade, simply choose the card with the same image in the cost area and place it alongside the building you have. Okay, we're almost there now, folks. Let's talk about the cards themselves. Brown cards are resource cards. They help you construct your buildings and monuments. Now let's take this example. This brown card has a cost associated with it. This means the owner of the card had to pay this value. This does now put your opponents at a disadvantage. When your opponent goes to purchase this resource from the bank, it will cost 2 coin per usual, but it will also cost an additional 1 coin, so your opponents would have to pay a total of 3 coin. Let's talk silver cards. These count towards your resource pool. Furthermore, the same mechanic applies as mentioned with the brown cards. These cards can help towards constructing buildings and monuments. Putting the cards on top of each other can help you keep track of your resources and aid you with minimizing the spread of the cards upon the table. Keynote: when you use your resources, you do not lose them. Okay, now let's talk the commerce trade cards. These are the yellow cards. Let's take this example. The card will cost 3 coins to purchase. However, with this, you will be able to sell unwanted cards at 1 coin extra per yellow card. So this can tally up, but let's take a closer look. The image shows wood resource and 1 coin next to it. This means all your future purchases of wood will cost 1 coin instead of 2, or more. Refer to the help sheet for further details on additional cards. On to the blue cards. These cards are the civilian buildings. These will provide victory points, one of the 3 ways to win. Right, now let's talk science. Yep, that's right, we're talking about the green cards. So science cards are similar to blue civilian cards in a few ways. You can upgrade cards, so keep an eye on the image. You can also gain some victory points, albeit not as many, but now I'm going to talk about pairings. With science cards, you can pair two with the same image. Having two allows you to unlock one progress token. See the rules or the help sheet for guidance. However, some progress tokens can aid your military actions, gain victory points, or reduce resources required for buildings. The last part on the green cards, and how to win with science, is to collect 6 unique science cards, like shown in the image. By doing this, you automatically win the game. Do you hear that? It's time to talk military. The red cards with the shield and swords imagery are your military cards. For each red card you collect, it will have a number of shield and sword images. For each of these images, you will move the military pawn 1 space. The more images, the more spaces. This sounds great, but your opponents can fight back, by your opponents gaining additional military. In the same way, your opponents can move the pawn back in the same fashion. This indicates the ebb and flow of battle. The further you progress into your opponent's territory, you will gain victory points. 2, 5, or 10. Furthermore, you will notice a token with a broken coin. Once the military pawn crosses the dotted line into the section of the token, your opponents will lose this much coin. This goes straight to the bank. Again, when you reach the next token, you will gain the victory points, and your opponents will lose the coin indicated. If you were to reach the end, congratulations, you have now achieved a military victory and automatically win. So, now you know how to play the game and how to win. We have shown you the first stage and how to complete the setup. I will quickly now move through the second age and third age. Again, use the card structure for reference. We have now reached the end. I hope you have found this content useful and wish you the very best in your future gaming.
I just want to say thank you for watching this content. If you do want to support the channel, we are registered on buymeacoffee.com. The link is down below. It is quite thirsty work, so if you'd like to support the stream or even make regular donations, check that out. That'd be massive help. If not, no worries at all. Take care and let the dice tell the story.